I'm Oedipus. My life has been very rough and terrible. Many things have gone on through it. And I want to tell you the story. So, before I was born, my parents went to a prophet, an oracle, to see what I would be like in the future. And he told them that when I grow up, I'm going to kill my father and mate my mother. And they were in denial until one day that they realized that that might be true. So they gave me to a herdsman when I was still really young, and they told him to kill me, and the herdsman couldn't do it. So he gave me to another herdsman, and all I remember was he tied up my legs, and he took a huge stake and he shoved them through both legs, through both feet. And after that, forever I had swollen feet. That's why my name in Greek, Oedipus, means swollen feet. So there was a king, Polybus, and he adopted me, and he raised me like his own. And I never doubted that he was my father until I went to the oracle, to another oracle, and I asked him what my future would be like. And the oracle told me the same thing he told my parents. And I ran away from Polybus and the kingdom. Polybus was the king of that kingdom. And I was going to Thebes on horseback. And on my way there, there was a crossroad. And there was a really obnoxious man. And I got into a fight with him. And we didn't know who had the right of way. And back then there weren't traffic lights. So we got into a huge argument and I killed him. And then after that, I kept going, and near Thebes there was something guarding the whole kingdom. It was a sphinx. It was a really odd creature. It had the body of a woman, the legs of a lion, and it had wings. And if it asks you a question, and if you cannot answer it, it kills you. And the question it asked me it was a riddle. It was, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 feet in the afternoon, and 3 feet at night? And I knew the answer. It was man, because when a man is really young, he walks on all 4s. In his middle ages, he walks on 2 feet, and when he's really old, near his death, he walks with a cane, so 3 feet. And I was correct, and the Sphinx jumped and hurled itself in a hole to its doom. So, back on my way to Thebes, all the Thebans, when I came there, they were astounded. They were so happy. They said, "You finally defeated the Sphinx. It was terrorizing me for years and years and years. It was terrorizing us." And they awarded me, and they put me as their king. And I was so happy, and I got a wife named Yocasta, and she was a widow, and we had 4 children, 2 males and 2 females. And one day, there was a plague, huge disease. It was swiping everybody in the whole town. It was wiping them out. And I thought, I'm the king, I have to deal with this. So I sent Yocasta's brother to the Oracle of Delphin to tell me how to solve this. When Yocasta's brother came back, he said, "You have to find the murderer of Leonus and either exile him or kill him, and that's the only way the plague will go away." And I thought to myself, okay. And I went to a blind oracle named Tyrius, and I asked him, "Tyrius, how do I find the killer of Leonus?" And he told me, "You don't look for the killer of Leonus. Whatever you do, don't look for the killer of Leonus." And I told him why, and we had an argument. And he said, "You are the killer of Leonus. And you're shameful because you don't know who your true parents are." And I ignored him. I kept searching for the killer of Leonus. I denied it. And one day a messenger came, and he said, "Oedipus, your father, Polybus, has died recently, and I thought to myself, great. So the oracle, that what he told my parents, it can't be true, because if my father's dead, and I know I didn't kill him, so I thought, great. And he said, don't beat yourself up about your father's death. After all, you were adopted. And I thought to myself, oh no, what if I killed Linus? What if Linus was my father? What if Yocosta is my mother? And I thought, this is impossible, this is impossible. And Yocosta realized that also. And she remembered my face from when from when I was a baby, and she went to commit suicide. And I wasn't aware of this. So I went for further verification of what the messenger told me, and I asked the very same herdsman who shoved the stake through my legs. I didn't know it was him though. And he told me, it's true, you were adopted. I know, and I thought, oh no, it's true, I must have killed Venus. Must have been my father. And Yocosta has to be my mother. So I ran back as fast as I can to find Yocosta, and she was dead. And I took the brooches from her gown, and as a punishment for myself, I blinded myself. And I left Thebes so that the plague would go away, and I had my daughter here, and she would guide me, and through the whole country, and I wandered and wandered and wandered, and I'm still a wanderer, and I heard that my sons, because when the king dies or he leaves, then the son of the king becomes the king, and since there were two sons and they couldn't decide who would become king, they decided to have a contract. Okay, 1 year you would be the king, 1 year I would be the king, and they alternated like that. And 1 year, one of the sons didn't wanna give up his crown, so there was a huge war between the sons, and in the end they killed each other. And the king became Yocosta's brother, and yeah, it's my life. And then I've just been wandering through here, and then Athens provided protection for me, and then I'm just waiting to die.